My husband's ex thought he would be a deadbeat dad. She was dead wrong.
Ooh.
Throwaway because I have identifying info on my main. I, female 27, married my husband, male 29, about a year ago, and we've been together for about 4 years. And he has a 4-year-old from a past marriage. Sorry for the upcoming length, but I think all the context is important. By the way, this comes from Thin a Kent the K 252 on the r/OKstorytime subreddit. Here's where we already get a little messy. Both my husband and his ex admit they got married too young and for the wrong reasons. And that emotionally it ended before they officially said it. They're like, yeah, we cheated, but it was already over.
They can acknowledge that. It's fine.
She also cheated on him with different partners for a large part of their marriage.
Okay, that's not as fine.
All around, just not the right people for each other, which happens. She got pregnant after they had started to think about ending things. And to make a long story short, he and his family, and frankly myself, are convinced that she got pregnant entirely on purpose. Like the cliche poked a hole in the wrapper and initiated spicy sleep while actively tracking her period. Don't know how it went down, but while she was pregnant, she said she wanted a divorce. Fast forward, she had the baby. He tried to stay and make it work for their son, but in the end, they got a divorce, and he and I got together. I did not know him when they were married, to be clear. I love him and his son so deeply, and he and I have a very open conversation on my role as a stepmom. He fought for her to accept a 50-50 custody schedule. Good. Scheduling is up to them, not a judge. After he and I moved in together, after only having him for weekends and paying crazy high child support and still giving her money anytime she said she needed it for their son, I am able to do daycare pickup and drop off while his work schedule didn't allow for that, which is why he only did weekends. So it seems like he kind of got screwed over.
He did not get the fair end of the bargain.
No. So now we have him 50% of the time. He still pays the child support, but does not send her money. And she and I communicate a lot as I take on a relatively traditional mother role. The biological parents still handle all major decisions, but my husband regularly consults with me on them, especially because I have higher education in child development, but every decision and milestone starts a fight between them. She was mad when I gave him a haircut during his time with us. Nothing drastic, just a trim because it was in his eyes, and it wasn't his first. She was upset when we took him to an event on our time because she wanted to take him, but we had no idea, and it was during our regularly scheduled time. She got mad when my husband got him his first bike because she should have been able to do that with him, like my husband isn't allowed to have core memories with his own son as well. There are honestly more, even her getting mad when he called their son's doctor just to ask a general question. And she gets upset when she finds out about me doing anything motherly.
This is literally the exact same energy as like the divorced dad that like shows up, you know, because instead of just being happy that someone is like having a positive impact or relationship with their child,
Yeah.
they just feel like, you shouldn't be doing that. That's my thing. That's my job. Stop it. Like, who do you think you are? And
He's
it's
being
like
jealous of his child's happiness. Like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. A recent fight between them was when he asked to lower child support, not even get rid of it, because he and I are both in well-paying jobs and agreed we could afford helping her since we have equally split custody. She lost it and said she is the primary parent and deserves the support. He's just trying to lower it. She lost it and said she is the primary parent and deserves the support. Unkind words were shared and nothing was really resolved. This is such a common trend in our co-parenting, and when venting to my best friends, she suggested that his ex thought he'd be a deadbeat, and she got pregnant to guarantee being a mom and get financial support from him, but didn't expect to have to co-parent or share because she thought he'd be a deadbeat dad. He's very far from it. He's very involved.
sounds like he's the polar. It sounds like if anyone's the deadbeat, it's her.
It made so much sense when she said it out loud. We both do our best, husband and I, to be supportive and help alleviate the strain of being a single parent, even though his ex has a partner, but that's a whole other story. Things like always making sure his ex knows we can be flexible with work to help with childcare needs, no matter whose time it is. We are very flexible with holidays and are always willing to go off the schedule for special events. We'll send photos when he's with us and always do FaceTimes if he's missing his mom, but he has stopped asking lately. Is the mom doing something? Maybe.
I bet you the mom's horrific toxicity is maybe seeping out of her
That's the
without her
thing.
realizing it in
Yeah.
front of the kid, and her own kid has now just clocked it and been like, she
Well,
kind of sucks.
I think desperation and insecurity show up in odd ways generally. And like the more insecure you are, you're going to subtly show that to everyone around you. And like children are extremely emotionally perceptive.
Yes.
They can't necessarily intellectualize it.
Right.
But
They pick up on the vibe like
pick
that.
up on the vibe and will distance
Right.
themselves. If anyone has advice on how to navigate this co-parenting relationship so our son can grow up with as little trauma from split households as possible, I'd greatly appreciate it. I think the hard thing about this is like, I don't know if there's much you can do unless you legally do something. Like, I feel like she's not reasonable. She can't really be talked to. We got an update. This will likely be my one and only update, especially since it's a throwaway. It's a long one and will probably leave people angry and with more assumption. My husband read a lot of these comments as well, and he did talk just about everything that we brought up. He decided to call his ex, and while recording it, since that's one of the most heavily recommended things, he asked if she would be open to getting together to talk about co-parenting in general. He also told her he was recording this call and asked if it was okay, and she admitted to recording their last phone call as well. She asked if I was there because she wanted me on the call as well, and I was, since I was recording on my phone. She said their son was with her mom at the moment and asked if we could all talk a little about it now, and then yes, they could all meet, but she wanted me there as well as her current partner. I think that's okay. My husband planned on just asking if they could switch their communication to a co-parenting app and letting her know that he would be having a mediator reaching out to her shortly. He decided on one of the three he has already talked to. So he did just that, and she agreed to change their communication on an app, and they agree on that, and this would also be admissible in court. But initially rejected the idea of a mediator. She asked that they do it that way he first tried to because she knew her child support would likely go away fully based on their first court order. Yeah, basically she's worried about her child support going away. She went on to say that she really doesn't have a problem with me, not with me being a stepmom or how my husband and I got together, and actually likes me and how I chose to love their son and be involved rather than just be an involved wife. This seems really healthy so far.
Because her behavior was
and because
completely
it's
like the opposite of
recorded
that.
too.
Yeah.
Initially, she didn't care about me doing things like getting him clothes or doing things with him and my husband overall being involved when it was only weekends. But her shift came when it was changed to a week on, week off. That's when she admitted she struggled and was angry because she never expected my husband to want that much time with their son, despite him telling her he would at the time that they officially agreed on a divorce. My husband admitted that he could have offered a gradual shift to the new schedule or a conversation like this at the time. He did hold firm on the mediator and said it was in everyone's best interest to map out a parenting plan to include things like what big milestones and decisions will we commit to, discussing beforehand, like when does he get a cell phone, and what things are fine to make decisions on without consulting the other parent, and an agreement that I am a parental figure, with the awareness that I am not and will never be a biological mom. It will be very comprehensive and will be submitted when the child support goes to a judge, as that is the next step. And all the rules that apply to my role in that agreement would also apply to her partner in the future once they are married. The entire agreement is to be revisited every 2 years, at least until he is 18. This seems incredibly balanced. I'm ready for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, for real. It's like, you said this was going to make us angry, dude. Where's the anger? I'm not angry yet.
Yeah, but if you want to assuage your anger, you can join us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile right here on YouTube.
Tap.
This conversation has been needed for some time, and I have a feeling there will be some more coming with the mediator and in general, but they're all in the best interest of our son. And I believe they're pretty capable of being civil and healthy. We'll see how it goes. I feel like I've answered a lot of the questions, and some are frankly just wrong assumptions about things I said or didn't say. On the other hand, I really appreciate some of the things said in this comment section. Co-parenting is different for every situation, and we are working on finding what is best for ours. And that's it.
Well, I guess I'm glad that nothing
that's it.
else bad happened. The beginning was kind of anger-inducing.
She did explain like she was just not prepared for him to be so involved, and so there was resistance to that, and I guess she eventually felt better about it.
What a wild thing to just assume, like, out of hand, just
that
like,
he wouldn't be involved.
that he's like, yeah, I can tell this guy's not going to want to spend any time with this kid.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, joke's on you.
She totally just used him as like a bank and a regular bank.